Please welcome Joy Ann Lara, artist and art teacher.
Five, four, three, two,
Okay.
one. Hello, Joy, direct from New
New
York,
Jersey.
New Jersey.
Hello, Lisa.
Good evening, right? Good evening.
Yes.
And
And morning sa inyo. Have a good bright day.
so it's good morning, Manila and the world. We'll go straight to your interview, okay? And
Sure.
as, as I told you, this is the love month. So we will go through the letters L, O,
Art.
V, E.
Mm-hmm.
L is, it could be anything, your list of 2021 things to do, or love in the pandemic. What do you have to say?
The thought that comes to my mind at this time is we are forced to focus on the few, the essential, the vital, those closest to us, di ba? So because we were all of a sudden we lost our freedom to fritter away our time and attention on the non-essentials. We're here, we're home. Those of us who are lucky to be with our families. That's, so it intensified it in a sense.
Yeah.
Since you're the one who said this, love in the pandemic. It's fiercely focused, and it's deepened, I think. And whether it's comfortable or not, depende na yan on the flow of the days, di ba?
Do you have any list of things to do this 2021, yung mga hindi mo nagawa in
Ay,
2020?
nako, well, this ballet.
Yeah.
Ballet is still in there. In fact, it's so nice kasi while, we didn't really know each other in Maryknoll, I think it's great. I'm very happy that you and I are getting to know each other now naman as people who love ballet. And you've always been so active you've always been the dancer, and you've pursued it as a profession. Ako, the other side, somebody who just loves it. I've had some experience in school, and as an adult I just continue to love it, and I try to have as much of it in my life as I can, to my level, syempre. So before the pandemic, I was taking ballet classes, and all of a sudden, I was doing, what was great was, I was starting to dabble in choreography, and I had, my teacher and I were working on a pas de deux. It's amazing to see how the dance world has been one of the groups, I think, that coped the fastest and in a very positive way with the pandemic. A few days after quarantine lang, all of a sudden dancers were online, di ba? Talagang life goes on, the show goes on. Hindi nga,
Must
not
go on.
physical, but they were dancing alone in their houses, but together in a group online. So I thought that was very inspiring, and syempre, that's still part of my to-do list. I don't know what shape or form it's gonna take, but it's there. And then, as always, painting, art. I do want to have another show.
What are your observations with people, with yourself maybe, or with whatever's happening in the world? Do you have any key point observations?
Well, we've had a lot of time, I think, to reflect on all the very interesting ups and downs of the past year. So, tama-tama, as 2021 starts off, it's really good to remember, and to me, this is a personal learning, that a lot of things we can't control. Diba? I mean, what's happening in the world, a lot of that is out of our personal control, but we can always control our own responses. We're responsible for how how grounded we stay when the situation gets really, really rough. And I think that's an important skill to practice and to share
Yes.
with the people around us. And if I think it's a learning experience. I don't think we ever become experts at that,
Right, right.
but the simple fact of recognizing that we have to do it, I think that's all we need. And then whatever happens with whatever situation you're in, as long as you're committed to doing your best to stay grounded and to keep hopeful and positive, it sets up the stage for something good to happen.
Nice one. And I like how you observed that the dancers are one of the few that, was resilient enough to go through the show must go on thing.
Oh yeah, kaagad.
And
Yeah,
that
I was
people,
very impressed by that. Yeah,
yeah, and that people are focusing to be grounded.
yeah,
I love those key observations. I love it.
yeah.
I love it. Now we get to talk about your upcoming ventures and how you have, used art. You can share screen to heal you or to go through this pandemic.
Anyway, there was GMA TV was putting a show of interviews again of different people from different fields and how they were coping with the pandemic. And somebody had asked me, because they knew me as an artist, and they asked me in particular about origami, because that's something that I like doing. And I don't know, I think you've seen on Facebook, but here's just one of those little origami things I do.
Is that
Yeah, it's a cardinal.
a
But
co-
anyway, and I just spoke about that in particular. But in general, you know me, I'm a painter, and in fact, see that?
look at that?
That's us. And this was 2019. So here's me, Lisa, and we're brainstorming. We're both excited about how different kinds of arts can really work together. You had asked me in particular about the arts and how it contributes to healing. And that's really a topic that's so parang top of mind for a lot of us, because, we are stuck right now in that we're coping with the pandemic. And the arts is really one of the most powerful ways to stay grounded, as we were talking about earlier, in a world where there's so much uncertainty. You don't know what's going on. There are too many new elements. It's like, do I trust the vaccine? Do I not? you know Whether it's origami or painting or dance in your case. So I'm going to talk about art as a general thing. When you do art, you really go into yourself. You really focus your attention on you, which is basically what you can control. When you go into yourself and art is expressive, for one thing. So you're able, for example, to express difficult emotions in a safe way, and it allows you to put all these emotions out and make sense of them, right? When I say it's a safe way, it's in a way that doesn't, for example, hurt other people, and that's different from putting out your emotions, for example, by shouting at someone or throwing things or getting angry or starting a revolution or something like that, right? It's a way where you can release emotions, and then because you went through that process, you can really look and see and have a chance to make sense of it. And that's really the power of art. It gives you, as an artist, you have I would call it a pleasure. You have the pleasure of putting it out there, but it also gives you the chance to look at it now that it's out there and understand it for yourself. And then, as a bonus, if you allow other people to see it or to experience it, right? If you show your work to someone else, they have a chance to have a relationship with your work. Your work will speak to them. there they'll be able to look at your work or see it or hear it and experience some form of emotion within them, and that's important because it's a human experience. I think art puts us in touch with our humanity, and especially now when everything is so tech oriented, you
Yes.
know,
Yes.
we do, there is a fine line. Technology is a tool, and it's a wonderful tool. That's why it's great we can do this right now, right? We can have this wonderful conversation and we can share this with other people. But that's what it is. It's a tool. It is not a replacement, right, for human connection, and
Right.
it's not a replacement for actual experiences. And when you are involved in art or in art making, you are really going deep into the human experience because you're working with yourself,
And then you're
right?
connecting with people.
You're connecting with people. You're tapping into creativity, which I believe is something that we are all born with. And it's something that connects all human beings, regardless of race or wherever in the world you are, how rich you are, how poor you are, educated or not. It's all in there. So it's something that unites us, and I think it's important to remember that at a time when there's so much, disunity. There's so much.
Right. Right.
Um,
You know why I believe you know why it has so much power is because not only that it unites us to our community, it
mhm.
unites us to the divine or to the creator because it's such
Oh,
a
yes. I do know, from our days in Maryknoll, that we were, being Catholic myself, we were made in the image of the Creator, right? Therefore, we are creative. If we were made in the image of a creator, we are creators. And so it's just logic. It's not even
you
faith or
have
belief.
yes,
It's logic.
it's
If
not
A, then B,
right.
right? But as an art, for example, I do a lot of, I teach art and adult, to adults in particular. And one of the things I can't, I hear this all the time. Many people will say, "Oh, but that's you. I'm not creative."
Yeah.
And I argue that all the time. I say, you know what, if you have time, give me an hour and I will lecture you on why that's a lie. Yeah, when people say I'm not creative, it's a lie. It's something that's based on someone's opinion from years ago. It's based on somebody probably having made an unkind remark
Right.
on a previous work, and so we suddenly get hurt and like afraid of doing it again.
Yeah.
So that's all. But there's really no need to carry that, as every day is a fresh canvas. Every day is a new day, diba? And
Good. So how do you keep yourself engaged? You were talking about an exhibit that you have popping up
yeah,
there,
yeah.
or are there any other things out of aside from art that is keeping you engaged?
Yeah. Well, it really was, well, as I said, I have my family here and my family in Manila. So family is very much an anchor and a motivation, and it's really something that I so thank goodness, I'm grateful for our technology now, that it's, I we can keep in touch with family and friends
Right.
back in Manila. So that's great. I still continue to, I guess it has its links with ballet, because I did a few years ago, I just built the habit of doing my online workouts, and I'm keeping that up. It's great to just feel, keep growing stronger. And like I said, I have ballet goals, so I still want, to be a strong dancer, maybe stronger than I was when I was in high school. Who knows? Kasi in high school naman, we we, we were all, um just so excited about looking right that I don't sometimes you try to get away with poor technique, and if your teacher doesn't catch you, it's like, oh well.
Now you're more of a thinking dancer, right? Because your
I,
mind
I,
is
I, I like that term. Yeah. And I think that's a different thing about coming to ballet as an adult.
yes.
You're ready, you know that patience is more important than your pride. You know that looking good takes more time and effort than you would like, but you're willing to put it in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's about it. Actually, that's about it. Your
Interesting.
premium ballet talk.
See you soon. And hold on to your thoughts about how art heals. Bye.